The saga of Ragnar Lothbrok, the legendary Viking hero, begins in the mists of time, shrouded in mystery and myth. His story is a tapestry woven from threads of history, folklore, and imagination, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Yet, even as the details of his early life remain elusive, immortalized within the pages of Icelandic sagas dating back to the 13th century, the legendary Norse chieftain known as Ragnar Lothbrok has, in more recent times, found renewed fame through the popular television series Vikings. Yet despite his modern notoriety, questions regarding his actual existence persist. Ragnar Lothbrok's birth date and place of origin are sources of debate among historians and storytellers. According to various sagas and chronicles, he was born in the early Viking Age, roughly around the 8th century, in what is now modern-day Scandinavia. Although his exact birthplace remains uncertain, it is commonly associated with the rugged coastal regions of Norway or Denmark. Ragnar Lothbrok's story is set in the furthest reaches of our historical memory, a realm where the boundaries between myth and history blur into obscurity. His narrative, recounted by Icelandic scholars some 350 years after his purported death, has inspired claims of descent from this enigmatic hero by many kings and leaders, from Guthrum to Canute the Great. Ragnar's name, Lothbrok, carries with it an aura of mystique and intrigue. The epithet Lothbrok translates to hairy breeches or shaggy pants. According to one legend, he earned this name during a daring adventure involving a serpent, where he fashioned a pair of pants out of animal hides to protect himself from the venomous beast's deadly bite. This legend, like many surrounding Ragnar, blurs the lines between history and mythology. Little is known about Ragnar's early years. Some sagas claim that he was born into a noble family, while others suggest more humble beginnings. The ambiguity surrounding his early life only adds to the enigmatic allure of his character. What is clear is that from a young age, Ragnar displayed a keen aptitude for martial skills and a relentless thirst for exploration and conquest. He quickly made a name for himself through his daring raids and audacious exploits. As tales of his feats spread across the Viking lands, his legend grew. One of the earliest accounts of Ragnar's exploits is found in the Norse sagas, where he's said to have defeated a monstrous serpent that terrorized the coastal waters. This victory solidified his reputation as a fearless and cunning warrior. Whether this serpent was a literal creature or a metaphorical representation of his triumph over adversity remains a topic of speculation. Among the many sagas that celebrate Ragnar's life, one of the most enduring aspects is his romantic involvement with Lagertha, a warrior woman of unparalleled beauty and courage. According to legend, Ragnar fell in love with Lagertha after witnessing her valor in battle, where she defended herself against an attacking bear using a spear and a hound. Ragnaris boasted of having 3 wives. His third wife, Aslaug, bore him 3 sons, Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, and Sigurd Snake in the Eye, all of whom would eventually surpass their father in stature and fame. Ragnar's story took a dramatic turn when he embarked on a perilous journey to England with just 2 ships, driven by a desire to prove his mettle against his own sons. His expedition culminated in a fateful encounter with the forces of King Aella, leading to his capture and imprisonment. According to legend, Ragnar met his demise in a pit filled with venomous snakes, where he uttered his famous prophecy foretelling the arrival of the Great Heathen Army in 865 AD, saying how the little piglets would grunt if they knew how the old boar suffers. The year 865 AD indeed witnessed the largest Viking invasion Britain had ever seen, led by Ivar the Boneless, whose remains were later discovered in a mass grave in Repton. This marked the beginning of the Danelaw, a period of Viking influence and rule over parts of England. However, the question that lingers is how much of our history is indebted to this legendary Viking king who left an enduring mark on what we now call England. While evidence supporting the existence of Ragnar Lothbrok is scarce, it does exist. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, a generally reliable historical source, makes 2 references to an eminent Viking raider in 840 AD named Ragnar and Reginherus. It is believed that Ragnar and Reginherus are the same person as Ragnar Lothbrok. According to historical accounts, this infamous Viking marauder conducted raids along the coasts of France and England, eventually receiving land and a monastery from Charles the Bald. However, he broke the pact and sailed up the Seine to besiege Paris. In an act seen as divine retribution, he and his men were paid off with a substantial sum of 7,000 livres of silver, equivalent to a massive fortune at the time. It's worth noting that the account of Ragnar's death in a pit of snakes may be rooted in myth rather than history. There is evidence to suggest that Ragnar may have met his end between 852 AD and 856 AD during his ventures in the Irish Sea. While the story of Ragnar's conflict with King Aella may be fictional, his relationship with his sons likely holds more truth. Historical evidence supports the existence of Ivar the Boneless, Halfdan Ragnarsson, and Bjorn Ironside as genuine historical figures who made significant impacts on their own. Ragnar's sons, positioned in the right places and times, match the deeds attributed to them in sagas, and they themselves claim to be the offspring of Ragnar. It is plausible that these Viking warriors may have indeed been sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, or they could have been adopting the legendary name to enhance their own status. Viking kings often adopted sons of esteemed standing to secure their succession. Thus, Ragnar Lothbrok could have been associated with figures like Ivar the Boneless, Bjorn Ironside, and Sigurd Snake in the Eye in some capacity. What remains beyond dispute is the indelible mark left by Ragnar's supposed sons on Britain. In 865 AD, the Great Heathen Army arrived in Anglia, where they martyred Edmund in Thetford and later besieged York, leading to King Aella's demise. Following years of raids, this marked the beginning of nearly 2 centuries of Norse presence in the north and east of England. In reality, it's probable that the fearsome legend of Ragnar Lothbrok was constructed upon the reputation of a Viking raider who successfully plundered Britain, France and Ireland in the 9th century, accumulating vast riches. Over time, as the centuries passed before his feats were documented in 13th century Iceland, the character of Ragnar absorbed the accomplishments and triumphs of other Viking heroes of his era. Legacy and cultural impact. Ragnar Lothbrok's life and legend continue to influence popular culture, inspiring countless books, movies and television series. One of the most notable adaptations of his story is the hit series Vikings, which explores his adventures, family, and the enduring impact of his legacy. Ragnar's legacy also extends beyond entertainment. His legend has been a symbol of Viking valor and audacity, inspiring countless individuals to delve into the history and heritage of the Norsemen. Today, the name Ragnar Lothbrok remains synonymous with the Viking Age and all the glory, mystery, and intrigue that surrounds it. The second half of Ragnar Lothbrok's life was marked by his pivotal role in the formation of the Great Heathen Army and the legendary exploits of his sons. As the leader of this formidable force, Ragnar sought revenge for perceived wrongs, and in doing so, left an indelible mark on the history of the British Isles. His death, whether at the hands of serpents or on the battlefield, only added to the mystique of his legend. Ragnar's sons carried on his legacy, becoming legendary figures in their own right, and ensuring that the name Lothbrok would continue to echo through the ages. The tale of Ragnar Lothbrok is a testament to the enduring power of myth and the impact of legendary figures on the collective imagination. Whether fact or fiction, his story has captured the hearts and minds of generations, keeping alive the spirit of the Viking Age and the bold adventurers who roamed its tumultuous seas. The sagas of Ragnar Lothbrok, therefore, amalgamated various Norse tales and exploits, and the historical Ragnar was eventually subsumed into the realm of mythology, his true identity lost to the annals of time.